Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Continuing on with our career mode, it's time for round 2 here in Qatar once again for the Doha GP. So here we go then, practice time here in the Doha GP, the second round of our MotoGP 21 career mode for the second season of course. If you haven't followed the race so far, that we did do the first race yesterday, which was at 6 PM, so if you've missed that one, I would highly advise you check that video out before coming over to watching this one, because I will end up spoiling the results, so you have been warned. Now, practice and qualifying didn't go well in the first round of the championship, and we really need to figure out what went wrong and how to improve. I do struggle at this track, as mentioned, and I do feel like we have a lot to improve upon, but I don't know where to find the time. I know where I need to find it, but I don't know how to find it, and that's the difficulty I'm having here in Qatar right now as of yet. For round 2, we're starting off the practice session with this horrible racing line objective that we need to do. I find the racing line to be very off-putting. It looks like it helps because of course the visual aid is a good assistance, but for me I find it a little bit off-putting. I tend to rely too much on the line after seeing it and then having a bit of a backward step when I go on my own without the line. But for the time being, we'll tackle the first lap and just see how we get on, and then we'll compare it after this one. But if I can't seem to get the time trial line, the racing line to go, then it's going to make the qualifying, or at least a practice session for the qualifying, to be very difficult. As things stand, Johan Zarco, Aleix Espargaro and Luca Marini are your top 3 with times of a 1:52.741 being the best. So we have our work cut out already for us. We're going to have to see what we can do. But for the time being, we're just going to focus on getting this lap done, and hopefully we can remove that racing line. Once that racing line's gone, I'll feel a little bit more happier and a little bit more positive about the potential of qualifying here today in Qatar. So where we go then, another Aprilia up onto that provisional front row. It's not really the front row of course, because of course this is just practice session, but you still get my meaning. But Luca Marini, Alex Marquez, Joan Mir, Alex Rins and Marc Marquez are your top 8 riders as things stand, with 40 minutes remaining of the session. So we're going to keep on doing a few more laps. The soft tyres are already looking pretty worse for wear, especially the rear tyre, not looking too promising so far. As you can see on the right hand side especially, they have taken an absolute hounding, so this lap is probably not going to do us any favours whatsoever. So we'll see as we get massively out of shape there going into the left hand of a turn 6. Very concerning moment for Grant on board that Aprilia, and I'm looking at some sector times on the left hand side of your picture. I'm looking at 2 red sectors for Joan Mir, a red sector for Alex Rins, and 2 personal bests for Alex Marquez and Alex Rins in that first split. So this could be very interesting, and of course we can't see who's lower than 8th place right now, because of course the graphic on the left hand side of the screen only shows us 8 riders, so we can't actually see who's beneath that. And I'm guessing there's going to be some very fast riders ready and able to take over in the top position, or even just getting closer to the first couple of positions. And there you go, Joan Mir. We've just seen him on the left hand side of the screen. Has now gone into the top position with a 1:52.203, and there is Pecco Bagnaia inserting himself into the top 2, pushing both of the factory Aprilia's down further and further down the grid. Luca Marini been pushed down, same as Alex Marquez as well. Valentino Rossi now flies ahead of us by 0.2 of a second clear. Aleix Espargaro did a little bit better than I did, with Paul Espargaro in there as well. But we are now trailing by a whole second to Joan Mir's lap time, and Joan Mir is not even finished yet, right at the top of the picture with another red sector. But I tell you what guys, that racing line won't go anywhere for me, so I will call it quits and move on to the qualifying session. And looking at the lap times, it looks like Joan Mir is still at the top of the picture with Miller, Marquez, Bagnaia, Morbidelli, Binder, Oliveira, Martin and Zarco are your top 9, and that is not looking promising for us, because I'm pretty much certain we are going to be in qualifying 1 and having to do the business to get into qualifying 2, and there is the confirmation on your screen. Back at the grid we are right now. So the faster 2 riders do go into qualifying 2. Let's make sure one of them is us. So here we go then, 13 minutes of tough qualifying situation here in Qatar. I have pretty much already accepted defeat here in Qatar too. Here in Doha, I just don't think it's going to happen. I just really find this track just difficult to get a good qualifying lap on. I can just never seem to find it. We had a great race in race 1, we really did, until I unfortunately blew it. But at that point, we were having a great race up into the top 7 and potentially had maybe the potential of getting into the top 5. We were getting close, but didn't quite have enough. So we're just going to see what we can do. Hopefully we can qualify better, closer to the 4th row if we can't get into the top 2 of this qualifying session. But for the time being, we have a goal. Let's just stick with it for now, and let's just see where we can end up by the end of Q1. So turn 7 will go on the right-hand side of the bike. A little bit too eager there in the acceleration. You're just seeing the Aprilia just snap ever so slightly as we now go into the right-hand side for turn 9. Much more controlled going into that corner, looking a little bit nicer as we now go into the left-hand side for turn 10. Careful on the exit there. Don't go too much on the rumble strip because you will lose a bit of time. But onto the left-hand side, this is the sector where we struggle so much. Let's make sure that we don't struggle in this sector right now. The bike is not stable at all. You can see quite clearly how much it's sliding around, and there we go. We only lost 0.3 of a second. That's not too bad. I can live with that. Yes, the lap time is not the same as what Joan Mir has just set in practice, but I can live with getting close to the top 2 as things stand. So let's just keep on pushing, going into the final corner now, a little bit relaxed, a little bit lackadaisical actually, being going into the corner with that little amount of brake. I probably should have braked a little bit firmer and a little bit harder for the right-hander there, but into the start and finish straight, getting across the line. What lap time we're going to look at? It's actually top spot for Grant right now with a 1:52.803. Let's be honest, it's not going to stay like that, but I'm still pretty pleased with the fact that we actually had a red sector in the final sector. So here we go then. Taka Nakagami, Ika Leko owner, anyone else going to put their name into the hat there on the left hand side of your screen to insert themselves into a potential chance of taking our Q2 spot. Maverick Vinales takes an orange sector, which of course means personal best, but the rest of the riders are still yet to show what they can do. Still plenty of time remaining in this one, so who knows what is going to be happening. But rest assured, we can only call it as it is right now. So going into the left-hander for turn 6, Leko owner has now gone into a double red sector. The same can be said for Takaki Nakagami, so that's pretty much sealed our fate right now, with both the KTM rider and the LCR Idemitsu Honda rider looking like they're going to steal our top spot. Aleix Espargaro, teammate to Grant of course, teammate to the World Championship winner from the previous season, is looking like he wants to put himself on there into Q2. And if he gets into Q2, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be a little bit jealous, because in the first race, none of the Aprilia riders scored points. Not one single rider from the Aprilia team scored a single point. So disastrous, disastrous weekend for all of the guys from the Noale factory. But now looking at the left hand side of your screen, we are in massive danger. Look at the amount of red sectors on the left hand side of your screen, guys, and cower in fear, because we are 0.6 of a second down on this lap. It is not going to be promising for us. Let's get across the line and accept defeat. Ika Leko goes ahead of the line now, 0.8 of a second clearer than what we are. Oh my goodness. And now Maverick Vinales puts himself into second place, but only 0.3 of a second ahead. Do we still have a chance? Let's back into the pits we went for a brand new soft and a medium rear. We're only around 0.3 of a second away from getting into the top 2. This might not be impossible. We do only have 4.5 minutes remaining of the session, so this is going to be one heck of a performance if we can get the job done. Unfortunately, there's no rider ahead of us to get a tow. There's no rider for us to use as such a guide on where to brake and where to manoeuvre the motorcycle. This is all down to us right now, so down as it goes. Literally the same, breaking even to the previous and fastest lap we set with the 1:52.803, but running it deep into turn 6, we gained a little bit of time, but we'll lose it upon the exit. It's still not going to be enough though. We need 0.3 of a second. It can't be 1 or 2, it needs to be 3 or possibly 4. I can't quite see, with Aleix Espargaro being so close there on the cusp of getting into the second qualifying session. He's going to have to dig down a little bit deeper, perhaps even more than what we are right now, because I really don't want to start this championship defence without a single qualifying 2 run in the first 2 Grand Prix. That's a disaster, it really is. But on the left hand side we'll go, we're up by 1/10 and a bit. Can we nail sector 3? Fingers and toes are crossed. Have we got it this time? It looks promising. It does look promising. On the right hand side, very close to the inside of there, we're down by 0.6 of a second. How much time can we save going into the 4th split? We lost a little bit more time there, but now onto the left hand side, have we lost more time? I think we have. I got a little bit complacent and a little bit too easy on the acceleration and brakes there, as it looks like the two Tech 3 KTM riders are going to go on through to the next qualifying session. But for us right now, we're going to have one more attempt after this one, so it's just going to be literally this. We are going to improve by, I don't know by how much, going across the line, up by to 6th position. It's not looking promising. We have 2 laps remaining, but only one more lap of fuel. So this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is all that we can do right now, and that is to push, and push even more on this particular lap. We have to have a better qualifying than what we had previously, so let's see what we can do. Onto the right-hand side, we'll go for turn 40 moments now. Massive moment, but we are up by 20,000th of a second. Not too bad, but we did compromise a lot of time by messing that braking marker up. Let's see where we're going to be in a couple of more corners' time. Not a bad combination, the soft front, medium rear. I'm kind of liking it. It's growing upon me, especially here in Qatar. Not the best combination, possibly, but I'm not sure. I've tried a few and none of them seem to work. But on the right-hand side, we'll go for turn 7. Nice and tight to the apex. Very close there to the apex. Beautifully done. Only lost 0.2 of a second. I'm guessing we're going to lose roughly around 0.5 of a second into the third split. So I don't really want to burst our bubble, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm going to try. Definitely doing my best going into turn 10, turn 11 and beyond. So onto the left hand side underneath the Tissot sign any moments now. Smooth on the brakes here is what's required. Not bad, a little bit shaky, a little bit slippy and slidey, but it's not looking too bad. Still in the green as far as the top right hand corner of your screen, and there it is. I think it's gone. It all depends on what we can do now, but I think it's gone. We could be starting this Grand Prix from 16th place. It looks like we are saving a bit more time by doing turn 15 correctly. It's just not looking promising as we now go into the final turn. On the right hand side we'll go, bring on the acceleration. God only knows if we had a toe things would be different, but let's see where we can finish up. We might get ahead of Maverick Vinales and teammate Espargaro if this lap continues. Across the line we will go, and it puts us into 7th position. So the spots that we lost, we gained straight back, but look at that, Valentino Rossi and Petrucci on their way over now to qualifying 2, and we now qualify as the second worst Aprilia here today. So tonight, Grand Prix will be at 6 PM, I hope you guys are looking forward to it. We're going to have to dig down deep and fight from the back and work our way forward. We're pretty good at that, and I very much enjoy doing it, so I guess all is not lost. But as always guys, thanks for watching the video, I hope you've enjoyed. Like, comment and subscribe if you did, and consider hitting the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload and live stream. See you later on at 6 PM for the Grand Prix, and upon that note, ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.